Hello, hello, Ria. How are you
Hello.
today and where are you dialing from?
I'm good, Kate. How are you?
I'm great. The weather is perfect, the mood is perfect, so thank you for checking
So
on me.
Poland is
Well,
treating you well.
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much for taking your time today to join my hot seat session where we help companies or businesses all over the world to address their blind spots with the help of our wonderful mentors, which is you. So, first of all, I'd like to learn more about you and your expertise.
Thanks, Kate, for this. It was pleasure coming on Hot Seat and meeting you and interacting with you. Well, it's a 2 decades I have been into HR, and I have played a various role into HR, from being your HR strategic and operational excellence partner to the consultant, being a coach to a leadership team and board members, interacting with the management teams. That's how I've been. My industrial expertise has a wide span from FMCG, real estate, hospitality, F&B, and HVAC industries. So a complete wide range with various market focus from Asia, Middle East, Europe, UK, and that's how been my career throughout. And outside my professional life, I am wife, of a daughter, and it's great to watch her journey to university. So that's my joy of life at this moment.
Oh, this is so nice. Thank you so much for such a wonderful introduction. Having such an extensive experience in HR, you will definitely help me in answering my first question. And I'd really like to know, in recent years, how has HR practices changed, and what are some maybe emerging trends that you see shaping HR practices in the future?
See, over 20 years, I have literally seen the transformation of HR from being a personal department, an employee record keeping department, to being a strategic partner in the boardroom. And what has changed in the modern workplace is the behavior. Today, you're interacting with a five generation and robotic who can operate at any time, win any channel. So it's like, having a closet full of option, and then you're still deciding and taking an hour to decide what to have. So similar is the situation with the businesses right now. They have all the options available, different generations on board, AI, hybrid, remote, and then they are still unsure, is this the best fit for them? And that's how I think the HR is really playing a great role, significant role. It's not easy to decide. It takes a lot of detailed understanding. I think the behavior of the people, the five generation, combined with your robotics has been a challenge.
The more we have, the harder it choose. So understand, I feel like the role
That's
the role of HR is now everywhere. As you said before, it used
everywhere.
to be just a department, and now HR is like it's like a foundation of the whole company. So
True.
I understand the
Mm,
role of this, and I agree with this.
true, true. That's there.
So, since we're talking about HR, what are some maybe, unique or some interesting challenges that you've helped the company overcome when it comes to their team culture, just the company culture?
See, any success of organization, irrespective, whatever the theory, thoughts, or whatever comes into mind, the very simple word, what I learned during my CHRO program also, and when I understood it with various partners whom I came across also, and believed it, there are three factors that matters to the success of organization. One is strategy, second is capability, and third is performance. Now the case with strategy and capability is like chicken and egg. What comes first? If you have capabilities, then you can build a okay. But if you have a strategy and you don't have a capability, then you can create a strategy, then build, buy, or borrow your capability. Now, however, the real challenge come is the performance. Okay. If the capability doesn't perform, all your strategies is waste. Okay. Now, what happened is like Strategy and capability is largely with the top management, whereas the performance is down the line. It's like a playground where you're sending your players without giving a clarity, communicating, cascading, and the speed at which they should operate to your players and your supporting staff. So normally this lead to the confusions. So my say is any organizations, whether adopted one methodology or other methodology, has the performance management. The failure is at this point, and not necessarily every organization should have the same performance management system. No, you need to decide what you want, customize it to your culture and other HR activity. Create a synergy between both, between the employee life cycle, between your performance management, between your business, and then decide what works for them and what doesn't work.
It's such an interesting perspective. I've never heard about something like this, and it's an interesting perspective. So, since you've already touched the challenges that companies may encounter, my question to you that let's imagine that the company, they do realize like the structure that you've just described, but they still face some challenges when they try to align their HR initiative with coming up with their own business strategic goals. What are some more challenges that they may encounter while they try to do this?
One of the commonly heard, into the HR, very basic thing, if you're paying less, you have a high attrition. Okay. And what about the companies who are already paying into 75 percentile and then still experience the attrition? Attrition is always there with the organizations. It's not related to your compensation. The compensation or employee price point is decided by the business price point. If you're playing in a mass market or you're playing in a premier market, whatever you're playing, however you're differentiating, your company price point or your business price point decide the employee price point. So complaint that is not the right way. Need to be done is creating a synergy among the employee life cycle and your business objective, and then you start deciding what should be your talent strategy, what should be your organization strategy, what should be your capability strategy or recruitment strategy. And one of the biggest thing, what happened, organization always focus on all the positive aspect like your recruitment, your learning and development, your performance. But what they forget is the attrition. Now, it's equally important that you decide your attrition strategy at what point of time you should let your people go out in market. So that's where the synergy is required. And that's where the challenge required, not creating a synergy.
So, what strategies you may recommend, HRs right now and especially in the future, if they face, the struggle of, changing their, business goals, conditions when they try to adjust, to changing economic downturns or market disruptions? How can HR help with that? How can they maintain the company balance yet still being aligned to their company goals?
I think one single point or strategy what this I would recommend is the invest in yourself. Build your business acumen, build your financial knowledge, and then behavioral skills. Because today, what you are facing the challenge, the tomorrow that won't be your challenge. And especially the future generation which is coming up, they are highly talented, highly risk taker, tech savvies. They are like, if I want to do it, what I have in my place. So HR definitely need to. They should be updated with what's going on into market, what's going on into industry, how the world is reacting to different things, and should be smart enough to customize it to the need of the business. So I think that's works. Invest in yourself.
You were describing an interesting point, and it's something that came up on my mind, even though I didn't really originally plan asking this. As you were speaking about the new workforce, people now when they come, they're tech savvy, they are bursting with ideas. Sometimes maybe it's also important to not just invest in yourself, but maybe listen to your own employees, because sometimes you feel like you know everything, but the generation that is coming, such as me, I have lots of ideas, but I feel like nor HR nor upper levels they really hear me. But sometimes we also have insights they may really benefit the business, right?
Yeah, that's why, Kate, I told the five generation is the what impact the business. Every behavior is a different, but at the same time, where you have the old generation with experience, so much of thought process, the young generation is so much well groomed with tech savvy knowledge, and they are well informed. I could see this with my daughter when I say, I sometimes I, oh my God, the kind of a leadership style she brings, the kind of a thought process, and the education system. I think the education system has trained them much upfront than what we used to be.
Especially to be adaptable.
Yes,
We're highly skilled to be adaptable. I agree.
that's true.
So before we wrap up, is there anything else you would like to add, tell our audience about, what HR is going to be like in the future? So they will be kind of prepared to what's coming from HR, hearing this from HR professional.
The going trend forward, it's not going to stop at the CHRO. The CHRs will be new CEOs because your behavioral skills has lot of impact on the business.
Oh, this is a really great point. I've never heard anything like this, but I agree.
You can pick up so many examples from the industry. The very good example is Lena Nair, who have been into Unilever for such a long time, and now she is a CEO. So the going forward, the trend is not the CHRO stopping at the CHRO. It's going to be CHRO moving to the CEO.
I agree. HR is everywhere. It's the
It's
fundamental
every
of the business, so they're going to move upwards. I agree.
yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Ria, for such a nice conversation. In such a
Thank
short
you.
time, I was able to understand a lot about what is going to happen with HR and what is happening right now. So, again, thank you so much. And if our
Thank you.
audience enjoyed this conversation as much as I did and Ria did, I highly encourage you to check the caption and see how you can work with Ria to solve your business problems, as she's such a great mentor from our wonderful Glee community. Thank you, Ria, and have a good day.
Welcome.